Welcome to another inspiring episode of the Stellar Talk Show. I'm your host, Stella Ram, and today's conversation is all about focus, purpose, and the incredible power of the one thing, that single driving force that can shape your journey and lead to extraordinary success. As Gary Keller once said, success is about doing the right thing, not about doing everything. Today, we are diving deep into identifying and committing to your one thing and how it can completely transform your life. I couldn't be more excited to introduce you to our special guest, Sandy Mackay, a real estate mogul who's built a portfolio of over 75 properties and climbed the ladder from being a renter to a true industry leader. Sandy's journey is proof that with clarity, determination, and the right mindset, anything is possible. We'll explore Sandy's story, uncover the strategies he used, and learn how embracing the one thing has propelled him to unimaginable heights, not just in real estate, but in life. So whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a real estate enthusiast, or someone looking for that spark of motivation, you won't want to miss this one. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Stella. Happy to do this again and looking forward to our conversation.
Amazing. Sandy, we were talking about your journey so far, your mindset, how you have overcome your challenges and everything. And you always focused on your purpose, your one thing. Do you want to talk a little bit about your one thing and what that really means?
Yeah, I mean, there's, one thing could be, you could use that in a lot of contexts, but, having that, for starters, having that well-defined mission and purpose in life is super important. It'll help you navigate, the initial hurdles and get you inspired to keep going. And then, it can also change and evolve over time, right? And you can. In my world now, I have a few different businesses that I'm involved in, and so I have like a overall purpose, but then even going into different businesses at different times, there's different kind of one things that pop up, and you need to kind of be flexible in them at times. I found that everyone, now when I'm leading a lot more people, I found everyone needs help clarifying what that one thing is, whether it's a purpose in their own life, whether it's a purpose just in their job, and what the one thing is that they need to focus on. Because a lot of people without that clarity tend to just not be able to perform at their highest level. So in the same way that in a job or any role, it really pays to have one focus and one main thing that the person's doing. It's the same thing in life and in everyone's life. Having that one thing to focus on removes all the uncertainty, and it removes all the, it just gives you the full clarity on what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Yes.
It makes every decision easier, and it makes and we make however many thousands of decisions a day. So if you're unsure about what you're doing or where you're going in life, which is so many people, it's usually because you haven't clarified what's the one thing, what's the purpose.
What's the purpose? That's true. When you know that what your ultimate goal is, and then you can set your goals accordingly and time it properly, so you can actually in other words, you can do smart goal setting, right? And
to clarify, my one thing, my purpose that I read every single morning in my morning routine is to honor God by being the greatest version of myself, so I can experience abundance of joy with others.
Amazing.
And so that motivates me to always become a better version of myself, and also keep in mind that I'm doing it to experience joy with others, because I found, and that's evolved over the years, and it'll change again, I'm sure.
Yes.
But I always want to remind myself that I'm doing this for joy, not for money or whatever else. I want to make it fun. Yes,
you need to live your life first. Money comes second. I know money has an attribute towards it, but that's not the end goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if especially if someone's usually younger too, and they're like 18 or something, and you want to go make, 500 grand in the next 2 years, that could be your one thing. That's fine. Yeah. It can be the purpose for times.
Yes.
You just got to know that's not going to be the thing that fulfills you in life.
That's true. So when you're talking about the one thing, that can be like a goal that you want to achieve in the future. So when you're working on that, what are some of the daily habits or daily practices do you think we have to be mindful of to align with our one thing, which is the future goal?
Well, what I do is I have a list of I have another thing I forgot to mention in the previous episode where we talked about the habits. The other thing I read out every morning is I read out my they're really, I call them their intentions, their goals. They're just help me give direction in terms of where I'm going. And I read out the whole list. There's like 20 or so things on there.
Okay.
And it just outlines it's groups of all the different areas of my life and outcomes that I want to see happening. And there's no real time on them, but it's like, in the next 10 years or so, there's all these different things that I want to accomplish.
Yeah.
And I read those out every single day. And it just helps me, it kind of goes into your subconscious eventually. And it helps you make decisions, but it also helps you just get clear on where you're going and what you're doing things for. And I read that every day because ultimately my business goals, my life goals end up being kind of centered around those things. Some of those things I'm not going to achieve for another 10, 15, 20 years. Or some of them are kind of ongoing.
Ongoing, yes.
But it kind of just depends on the goal and what kind of area of life it's in.
Yes.
Like spiritual goals are not necessarily very metric based. They're usually a little more just ongoing. Ongoing,
that's true.
Whereas like earning a certain amount of money is you can really get really clear on the number there.
Number on that, yes.
That's the biggest thing I do is read through those all the time, and then in like different businesses, different aspects of life, we segment those down into more specific strategies or goals to hit in each area.
That's true. Oh wow, that's inspiring. Sandy, do you want to tell us or share with us about your experience in staying true to your one thing, which has helped you to overcome a significant obstacle?
You know what? I would say I've almost had more of the opposite of that, where I've screwed things up a lot because I haven't stuck to the one thing.
Okay.
Those tend to stand out for me more because I remember the challenges and going through those because they're more painful. But most of my painful moments in life have been because I've gone off track a bit from what my one thing was, and I lost sight of it. And so I think a lot of those times when I was extra stressed or realizing that I screwed something up, it was usually because I had made a decision that wasn't in line with that.
Yes.
Those tend to stand out more than the times where because when you know what you're doing and the one thing is, and you know where you're going, it almost becomes like it's obvious where you're going to get there. It's just going to matter of time, but you're always working towards that, and you almost don't even. I have to do a better job sometimes celebrating the little victories I have there because it's easy to forget about that part.
Yeah.
But I noticed some of the mistakes I made and some of the, and usually it's either directly related to that or it's like I can kind of add the pieces backwards to find out that if I just made that one decision that was more in line with my purpose, I wouldn't have this issue. Usually that revolves around people. Like I've gone into business many times with like a lot of the businesses that didn't actually work out for me in the years is because either I made a wrong hire or had a wrong partner in them, or usually comes around the wrong people. And usually that is because I get into business with people that aren't really in line with my values and my mission, and they're wanting something different. And when that happens, they want something different. I want this. That's not gonna align. You're gonna eventually, it might work for a little bit. Yes. But eventually you're gonna realize there'll be a challenge that comes up or a decision to make that you're like totally opposite on, and that's hard to work through sometimes. So
that's true.
That's where I've had a lot of my biggest challenges.
And you also touched on celebrating the wins. No matter in your journey, you definitely need to celebrate your small wins. Don't burn out your adrenaline because you need that adrenaline for your final win. But you need to experience the little wins as well and celebrate it because it's a journey. It's not an overnight thing, and it takes time. But if you don't enjoy the process and celebrate it, it's going to feel like a burden. Right? So you need to carry it with the proper weight and the proper mindset, in other words.
Yeah. I have my wife and I plan life kind of goals every year. One of our things this year was around that, just making sure that we acknowledge something great from the day every evening when we get together. Wow. Usually over dinner or whatnot.
That's amazing.
Make sure we acknowledge the good things that happen.
Yes.
Because it's really easy, especially when you're a business owner and sometimes many days are like, I've heard some people say some funny lines around this. Basically, you have that one moment, one day. It's very rare that you get 2 great days in a row, because you'll have that one good day and then you'll go 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row where like just problem after problem after problem. Like you generally are just solving problems all day, which means you're getting negative stuff thrown at you. And how do I fix this? And you fix it.
Yeah.
You fix it. And you fix it. And that's just ongoing.
Life, right?
It's hard to. Yeah. You got to remind yourselves that there's some victories in there, and it's if you don't pull those out, it can get to a state where you're not feeling as much joy as you should in the work that you're doing. So yeah, it's one of our things for this year was to build a better habit around that of making sure we acknowledge the wins, which are often failures that we reframe as wins. That's one of the biggest things actually. I've got a good habit over time is everything can be a win if you choose for it to be.
Yes.
And we don't actually experience the life that we. This is a Tony Robbins quote. We don't actually experience the life that we are experiencing. We experience the life that we're choosing to experience.
That's true.
So you can go through a day and have all the worst things possible happen to you that you could ever imagine, and you can still choose for that to be a good day because you can choose that all those things are going to teach you something to help you in the next day forward.
That's amazing. You actually said it really well. Yeah. Like, whatever the circumstance, it could be the worst day ever, but, just sitting down at the end of the day and, reflecting on that and taking the lessons and building your efforts on that to be better the next day, that's definitely a mindset to have.
And one of my mentors right now, although he's a far away mentor, is Deion Sanders, who's a football coach in the U.S. And he says he will never let himself have a bad day. And there's no excuse for anyone to ever have a bad day. Have a bad moment, a bad hour, a bad morning, bad afternoon. But you should never get to the end of the day and think, oh, what a terrible day this was. Like, if you're doing that, and I know many of us are, I've done that many times, but if you're doing that, you're choosing to have a bad day. That's a choice. You can also sit back and reflect on your day and go, you know what? I screwed up all these things. All these bad things happened. But because of that, something good's going to happen tomorrow. So this is a great day. And I'm going to choose to look at this as a blessed day and find what I need to find to move on.
Yeah.
And then you had a great day.
That's really true. It's end of the day, it's your mindset.
Yeah.
That you need to train your mindset to look at things the way that you just explained, because the way that we were grown up and everything, like we are always very easily focusing on the negative.
Yeah.
It takes practice and consistently practicing to focus on the positive and to cultivate based on that.
That's actually one of the most important points. Is it's a practice.
Yes.
Meaning that you're okay. You can screw that up a lot.
Yes.
And it's not gonna you're not just gonna reframe your mind overnight. But as you practice it every day regularly, and you just constantly build awareness.
Yes.
Eventually, you wake up one day and you go, I at this point, it's very rare for me to hold a grudge or think negatively about something for more than a few minutes because I've trained myself now. I know I'm going to find the blessing in it, find what's good, and it's going to serve me at some point.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's very inspiring and very motivating to listen to that. Sandy, has there been a point in your life? I know we all have gone through life in different roads, but has there been a point that you had to take a risk or make a decision that has been a turning point in your life?
I think I've made. Definitely taken some risks on people, and haven't always played out to be great, but some have. And I've also taken, one of the risks we took. I mean, we take risks every day, right? If you're not taking risks, then you're not really experiencing life, in my opinion. There's risk in not taking risk.
Yeah.
There's usually more risk in not taking risk. We took a risk, I guess, 10 years ago. My wife and I, we moved from Vaughan. We moved over to Hamilton area. And at the time, especially, it's gone through, some gentrification over the years, and it's a bit of a nicer city than it was 10 years ago. But 10 years ago, in my perspective, at least, then a lot of people had the kind of negative outlook on Hamilton, and it was like a grungy city. Everything was really cheap.
It's beautiful though.
It's got a lot better.
Yeah.
So, but back then, I had to convince my wife to come move with me out there. She was not really sure about Hamilton. We were living kind of nice suburb lifestyle in Vaughan, where it's a little more affluent of an area. And to move to Hamilton. And we were moving to Hamilton because we were basically going all in on our investments in our real estate business out in Hamilton. And that was a big risk because it involved her, and I had to convince her, and I had to also like uproot our whole life here. And one of the biggest things that came from that is that it forced us. It was just far enough away that we weren't able to come hang out with the same people we were hanging out with every day here in Vaughan. We would like have to, it was an hour or so drive to come hang out with the same people we would hang out before. So it forced us to get some new friends, start to hang out with different people.
Yes.
And it actually gave us the opportunity to kind of select some of the friends we hang out with and spend more time with, which we were going through some changes in our own life, more of an entrepreneurial phase, and we were attracted to different types of people. And often changes like that, moving towns, moving to a new industry and business, or adjusting family for certain situations, often I found in my life, often those are the scariest things, and they feel risky.
Yes.
But usually those have been the smartest things I've ever done, is to take that jump and that leap and just have some faith that it's, usually the worst thing that you're thinking about could ever happen, almost never happens. But even if it did happen, humans are like meant to survive, right? We have all these ways that we survive. We're going to figure it out.
You're going to figure it out.
Maybe it wasn't the best move, but you'll find the next best move, and and eventually you'll
get there.
As long as you keep the faith that that's going to be something that's good for you.
Yes.
People run into problems because they have a risk, then it doesn't work out, and they go, "Oh, I'm never taking a risk again."
Yes.
Which is that's the one you want to be very careful of.
I really like something that you mentioned there. You get to choose new friends. Yeah, so that brings back to like I'm thinking like you have to be selective of your circle. In other words, like you can have long-term friends, most definitely the college mates, your university mates, and your new friends. But if with time, sometimes that circle falls off because you get to keep on with the people who actually brings the best out of you, and it's okay to say no. Like I read on the One Thing book, you have to be okay to say no for certain things that comes to the circle of people and things that might deviate you from your ultimate goal.
100%. I'm more of a saying yes person, so I've had to learn that one a lot.
Me
I
too.
still haven't quite figured that out totally, to be honest. But saying no more and more is important.
Yes.
My wife's an immigrant to Canada, so she came here at 13 years old, and I often think about immigrants and why are immigrants generally tend to be a little more. I guess it's you never know where people come from, but a lot of times immigrants are very successful relatively fast because they come into a new environment and you're generally very motivated. You have a lot of reasons to get money going, business going, get life going, versus someone who's like I'm a fourth or so generation Canadian. We're kind of comfortable here. We're not really. And so I always use that. My wife's she's taught me that a lot. Is just like it's okay to start fresh and to start somewhere new and to and sometimes it's really, really good and really healthy to start new with some new people around you or a new industry, whatever it is. It's not a bad thing. Often it's a really good thing. Often it's what you need.
Yes, that's true.
Being complacent is very dangerous, and we often just in time we get complacent. If you're not growing, you're dying a slow death sometimes, but you're dying. So you never want to be not growing.
That's true. You always be on the path of growing. That's true. So when it comes to the one thing, Sandy, and we are focusing on achieving that ultimate goal, goal setting comes into play, and smart goal setting, right? And we know it's specific, measurable, achievable. We can go on. But when it comes to your definition of smart goal setting, what would that be?
Well, I think the thing that most people miss on is being really specific. And I would say I like to goal set, but I like to also, when I do goal setting, I usually do some form of goal setting per year on all our businesses, and I also do we do a family one now too.
Okay.
I think that's super important. Some of and it's relatively easy enough to put a smart goal together, something specific that you can measure, that's achievable, has a timestamp on it, and I think that's really important. That's a good starting point. What people sometimes missing it is they don't check in on it regularly enough. I like to look at it every day, but regularly like audit it every quarter, because sometimes you set a year goal and almost every year, I don't know actually if I ever had a year where I haven't adjusted the goal along the way, because something's changed in my life. I wanted to take that component to a new direction or whatever. So I really like to look at it quarterly. It's nice to have the direction of the year or the 3-year or 5-year, but you got to audit it regularly.
Yeah.
And that's okay to adjust it depending on the situations. And then also set like a standard of what your habit looks like around that goal, because I find you don't actually achieve what you desire in life, you achieve what your standard is.
That's true.
So anytime I've ever decided to set like a new health goal, for example, if I have a goal that I'm going to be a certain weight, let's say, I need to adjust my standards around my life for that. So I need to adjust, like maybe I don't drink alcohol during the week anymore. Maybe only 1 day a week, not whatever the case is. Maybe not 3 days. I can only have a drink a week maybe, because that's going to affect my health. Having 3 or 4 or 10 or whatever.
Yes.
Maybe I'm not going to eat dessert anymore this year, or things
down on the sugar.
Yeah. There's a standard somewhere in there that you need to audit and fix.
Yes.
In order to hit that goal. And there's obviously things you need to add on, but often it's deleting things that actually make the biggest impact, and freeing up more time and more energy for other things. So that's just a couple ways that I look at it. I think the standard's really important though, to look at what is the standard, the new standard for yourself. And that's going to be that daily standard, that daily sort of habit that you create or delete something, so that goal becomes inevitable. Yeah, that's true, most definitely. That smart way of goal setting will definitely get you to where you want to be if you are doing it consistently and focus on your goal. I want to also talk about there are when it comes to the Gen Zs, and a lot of people now getting into business or want to do, and getting into entrepreneurship and things like that, and achieve that ultimate goal. There are a lot of options available, right? So finding that ultimate goal is kind of a challenge, because for an example, I can be a carpenter, but I'm also good at I can do a retail store, I can do this, I can do that. So finding that clarity in where you should be focused on, and what the driving factor. What are some advice that you would like to input to find that? Good question. I think I would have been that person too for most of my 20s, where I was unsure of what I wanted to do, and actually beating myself up quite a bit because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And inevitably, when you go through that phase of life, there's other friends that are, that friend was always going to be the doctor, and look at them, they're doing it, they're in medical school or whatever. Yes. Well, that person might also go do all that schooling for 10 years or something and wake up and hate their life because of it. So comparison is the thief of joy. You've got to be careful to not compare ourselves to anyone else, especially in that young stage.
That's true.
The 30s or younger. Very dangerous to compare yourself to anyone. There's so much time left in life to accomplish so many things. So you don't want to beat yourself up much. I did that too long. Secondly, though, I think that whatever you're going to do next is just what you're going to do next. It doesn't mean you're doing that for the rest of your life. Especially nowadays, there are very few people that go into any industry, let alone one company or one role for life. Like, very common for people to bounce around, do different things, stay somewhere for a couple of years, do whatever they can and then grow or get a new opportunity. Opportunities are coming more and more all over the place. So it's really just the next thing. And I would not get too tied to what they're doing, or too caught up in the big, that's such a big life decision. I think it's just finding the opportunity where you're going to learn the most. I would put money is somewhat important, but learning at that stage of life is by far the most important thing.
Most important, yeah.
If you could get a role with an amazing person where you could shadow them all day, and that's someone doing like something incredible, and you can get that role and you don't get paid for it, that is going to be, as long as you can survive, getting that role and doing it for free would be way better than getting a role in a company that you're not going to learn anything, but you're going to sit at a desk by yourself and do mindless work and make $100,000 a year.
That's true.
That $100,000 a year you're going to make for the next 5 years, if you're not learning enough and you're not growing enough in that role and not being able to develop yourself enough in that role where you're doing for free, but you're able to learn and grow and develop and learn from someone incredible that is doing something amazing, that'll pay you off millions and millions and millions and millions more dollars in the long run than that few $100 grand you're going to make in the early stages.
That's true.
And it's hard to make that choice, but I would definitely lean towards that learning and growth-oriented opportunity way more over the money one.
Yes. No, I have to share a small story from my past. So it's very easy to get caught in the paycheck syndrome, in other words, right? When you are like, when you are very used to having that paycheck to paycheck life, you kind of like, have a circle and
it's
you
a
try
trap
to
almost.
Exactly. Your life evolves within that circle of trap. But the moment that you actually open up your mindset and look at the opportunities that aligns with actually what you want to achieve with your life, that's where entrepreneurship comes in, and that's where the learning and the growth and what you want to cultivate with yourself comes in, and that world is a huge opportunity for you to explore.
Proximity, being around the right people is one of the most powerful things you can have in life. That's why I said if you can get in good books with one like higher up person, even if you're not making any money.
Yeah.
You should work for someone for free or pay them to work for them, honestly.
Yes.
If you can get in that circle of that person and be like close to them regularly, you will be exposed to so much opportunity and so many relationships that you wouldn't have otherwise. And relationships and all that is where you're going to have, because having access to things like we talked about doing like mortgages and banking, financing and stuff like that. Every industry has a version of this where it is ultimately a lot about who you know, not necessarily what you know.
Exactly.
If you can get yourself in the right circles, everything's possible.
That's true. That's 100%
and
true.
there is financing worlds that 99% of the world has no clue what happens, and there's reasons why these big companies and business people pay less taxes or do all these things. Like there's all these relationship things that happen behind the scenes that if you can get access to some of that is really where a lot of opportunity lies. And most people never get there because they focus on like the shorter term paychecks or the short term wins and not the bigger term relationship with key people.
You want to focus. Exactly. That's amazing that you have taken the time to share a lot of very inspiring and very valuable information with us. I really thank you for doing that. Finally, Sandy, before I let you go, I want to ask you, if you were to go back in time and talk to your younger self, what will be a piece of advice you would tell the young Sandy?
I would say there's lots of things I would share.
A lot to say, yes, most definitely.
Yeah, I would say there's two things. First of all, I would say never lose sight of the reason why you're doing things and the why and the original mission and purpose and the one thing. Never lose sight of that. Never steer away from that. And never let other people, what's the terminology? Never let anyone else project their limiting beliefs onto you. So
that's a big one.
A lot of people have this big dream or big goal in life, and they might be sitting there at home or with family. Family is one of the most dangerous, and close friends, because you want to trust what they're telling you. You want to see them as a mentor or a friend.
Yes.
And they're not meaning something negative by it, but a lot of times you will speak something out that you want to have happen, and in your mind it sounds really cool and exciting, and you tell it to one person and that person will go, what? Who do you think you are? You can't do that, or something like that.
Yes.
Or they'll say, oh my gosh, that would be so exciting, but not for us. I mean, we're just small town kids from here. We could never do that. And then you go, oh, damn, okay, you're right. And then you go back and you forget that you had this exciting thing that was in your heart and your soul for a reason. That's not just there for joking around with. That feeling you had, that excitement. And I'm saying this because I've had this many times, and I've not acted on these ambitions that I had, mostly because I got talked out of it from other people. And I'm better at that now, but it's delayed a lot of things in my life. I probably could have expanded my world faster. So I think, especially when you're in your early phases, young 20s and stuff, it's very easy to listen to that advice because it sounds like advice. It sounds like maybe good advice. But if you got a feeling that you want to do something and you're feeling inspired about it and you have a dream there,
just go do it.
Just go do it. Don't let anyone tell you to audit it or stop or whatever.
Yeah.
You might screw it up. It might be a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But you're better off to go do it and fail and learn from there.
Yeah,
and
don't live
keep
with
going.
regrets. Yeah, exactly. Don't let anybody else dim your light.
Yeah,
Exactly, right? Your light, your purpose, you have to do what you got to do to get there, most definitely. Sandy, it has been a true inspiration, like for me to sit down with you and go through this conversation. The information that you have been tremendous value, and I hope the audience, the listeners, you have gathered a lot of valuable, wealthy information from Sandy, and I look forward to having you again, Sandy, in one of our future shows, and thank you very much for joining and sharing your time with us.
Well, thanks, Stella. It was a pleasure. I love what you're doing with the show, and I know that like everything you do, it's going to be something amazing, and you're inspiring me to watch you do this show and feel and provide such great inspiration and value to your audience. So kudos to you for putting on the show, and I'm looking forward to incredible things that are coming for you in the future.
Thank you so much, Sandy. Appreciate that.
Thank you for spending your time with us on the Stellar Talk Show. We hope you found value in today's episode and gained insights to help elevate your lifestyle. If you enjoyed the discussion, please like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who could benefit. It means the world to us. Until our next episode, stay inspired, and I'll see you soon on our next Stellar Talk Show.